Islamophobic has been a daunting reality, but in its latest manifestation, it has become a tool in the hands of Indian Prime Minister Modi, who cherishes it as his key political doctrine. Muslims in India have been increasingly at risk since the BJP Bharatiya Janata Party, led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, rose to power in 2014. Modi is a RSS-trained fascist who believes in the concept of racial superiority and consolidates his vote bank largely around the fear of Muslims. Twice his election as a Prime Minister in 2014 and 2019, despite being the mastermind in brutal killings of countless Muslims during Gujarat riots in 2002, clearly highlights that the so-called secular India is in the midst of turning officially into country for Hindus only. This notion bears serious ramifications for peace, as Modi encouraged demonization of Muslims on the basis of religion and has empowered right-wing ethno-nationalists who have already started leashing out genocidal policies against minority groups in India, particularly Muslims. This authoritarian attitude not only puts the life of millions of Indian Muslims at stake, but predicts an imminent humanitarian crisis that may extend beyond borders. Modi's aims to wipe off Muslims from the political and social fabric of India in a sequential twofold manner. That is, the vilification of Muslim history and depriving Muslims of their fundamental human rights like freedom of religion, participation in public affairs, and protection as minority. Recently, Modi laid the foundation of Ram Temple on the anniversary of the revocation of special status of Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, whose Muslim majority has been struggling for their right to self-determination as per the resolutions of United Nations Security Council. Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir has been under a strict lockdown for more than 1 year now, with communication links to the outer world cut off. Meanwhile, demographic engineering continues in the blood-stained valley via controversial domicile and property laws amid grave human rights violations, mass detentions, and extrajudicial killings. The condition of Muslims in the rest of India is no different. They face extreme discrimination, mob attacks, lack of police protection, and now even the fear of loss of citizenship. The Discriminatory Citizen Amendment Act, announced in December 2019, grants amnesty to religious minorities including Hindus, Sikhs, Jain, Buddhists, Parsis, and Christians who migrated to India prior to 2015 from Muslim majority countries like Pakistan, Afghanistan, or Bangladesh. Unsurprisingly, the only major religion that has been left out is Islam, the second largest religion in India with over 200 million followers. Additionally, the implementation of a National Register of Citizenship, NRC, nationwide forces millions of Muslims to prove their citizenship or fear being taken to internment camps. In order to qualify for inclusion in the official NRC in Assam, all Muslim residents had to provide the government with evidence that their families had migrated to India before 1971. Hence, to ensure their right to remain in the country of their birth, generations of Indian Muslims now need to provide their grandparents legal documents most of which did not exist anymore. This transition of Indian politics towards Islamophobia has been gradual and well thought out. Let me reconstruct key developments that have cemented and strengthened this hate rhetoric led by Modi over the past many years. The first major blow to religious diversity and inclusion in India came in 1992 when Babri Mosque in Ayodhya was stormed by tens of thousands of Hindus. The ghostly face of Modi politics was fully exposed in 2002 during Gujarat riots, which earned him the famous title, the Butcher of Gujarat. The violence that Modi instigated as Chief Minister Gujarat has now spread all across India like wildfire, and this time, as the Premier, he has the leverage to play with national legislations and international politics as well. Unfortunately, Modi's doctrine is nothing but a campaign of racial and religious hatred. It is only a matter of time before this Modi-fueled fascism turns fatal and tears down the social fabric of India. Today, the slogan of Shining India is scarred with incidents of mob lynching of Dalit untouchables, caste, beating up of Muslims on account of cow meat, failure of police to protect minorities, and deprivation of Muslims of their birth citizenship. Mr. Modi needs to be snubbed as his Islamophobic designs don't augur well for global peace. Modi needs to understand that minorities in India deserve the right to equality before the law, freedom of religion, and protection from religious hate. In the end, I would like to highlight that Prime Minister Imran Khan raised the issue of Islamophobia at the highest forums of United Nations. I would also like to reiterate that we will continue to highlight this discrimination against Muslims at all forums. Thank you very much.
اسلام آباد میں بھارت اسلاموفوبیا سمینار سے خطاب کرتے ہوئے سینیٹر شبلی فراز نے کہا کہ بھارت میں مودی کی سربراہی میں بی جے پی کی حکومت 2014 میں جب وجود میں آئی تب سے مسلمانوں پر مظالم شروع ہو گئے. انہوں نے کہا کہ مسلمانوں کو امتیازی سلوک کا شکار